안녕하세요. 주원소소자매 램미입니다. 네, 제가 한동안 소식이 좀 뜸했죠. 제가 왜냐하면은 제주도 갔다 오고 지금 이제 종업식을 했거든요. 얼마 전에. 그래가지고 정신도 없었고 유튜브를 신경 쓸 겨를이 없었습니다. 그래가지고요. 좀 뜸했고요. 이제는 앞으로 활동 많이 해야죠. 자, 그러면 저번에 챕터 12까지 안 했거든요. 거기부터 시작할 거고 이번에는 이 토끼 머리띠를 한번 쓰고 시작해봤어요. 아니 제가 제주도 가서 귤모자를 쓰려고 그랬거든요. 근데 그게 가격이 좀 있어서 그냥 배에 시키면은 좀 더 싸게 오더라고요. 그래가지고 그걸로 당분간은 할 생각이고, 그리고 이렇게 머리띠도 이렇게 바꿔가면서 좀 이쁘게 해볼 생각입니다. 그리고 제가 여러 다양한 컨텐츠들을 하고 싶은데 일단 모르겠어요. 뭐 브이로그 같은 거 할 수도 있고 안 할 수도 있고 그런 거 있잖아요. 할 수 있고 안 할 수 있어요. 근데 안 할 확률이 좀 더 크긴 해요. 근데 일단 생각은 해보는 겁니다. 그리고 이제 편집 앱을 깔아서 편집도 좀 해볼 수 있고, 자막에 제가 배워서 그런 거 할 수 있습니다. 나중에 도전해볼게요. 그러면 이번엔 책 읽으라고 싱. 네. 그리고 부탁드려요. 제가 오랫동안 너무 연습을 안 해서 발음이 좀 굳어질 수 있으니 양해 부탁드립니다. 그러면 읽어보도록 하겠습니다. The 13story treehouse. Chapter 12가 Chapter 12. The day Silky saved the day. I looked up. Terry was right. Flying cats. A whole bunch of them. 13 to be exact, with Silky in the lead. They were flying in formation, coming in low and fast like fighter jets. Oh, great, I said, as if a giant gorilla wasn't bad enough. Now we're being attacked by a flock of flying cats. How do you know they're attacking us? Said Terry. Maybe they want giant bananas too. Cats don't eat bananas, I said. Everybody knows that. Besides, they look angry, not hungry. Maybe it's a gorilla they're after, said Terry. Look how scared it is. Terry had a point. The gorilla was no longer shaking the tree. It was staring at the cats, as fur bristling. It roared loudly, but if the cats were worried, they didn't show it. They were definitely taking aim at the gorilla. We braced ourselves for 13 flying cats and one giant gorilla collision. But it never came. At the last possible moment, the cats separated into two groups, flew fast past the gorilla and soared up into the sky, where they reformed into a menacing circle high above us. That's when the gorilla started to climb the tree. There are no giant bananas up here, shouted Terry. We already told you that. I don't think it's after giant banana anymore, I said. I think it's getting into a better position to fight the cats. The gorilla climbed higher and higher and higher. Wow. Gorilla. Until it was standing at the top of the tree. It beat its enormous chest and roared at the flying cats, which continued attacking and tormented. The cats swooped and the gorilla swiped. Occasionally, the gorilla would strike the cats and send them crashing to the ground, but they always landed on their feet and rejoined the battle just as quickly as they left. Eventually, the 13 furious flying cats became too much for the gorilla. It lost its grip, fell out of the tree, and crashed into the ground with a gigantic thud. But the flying cats weren't finished with the gorilla. Before it could get up, they swooped down, sunk their claws deep into its fur, and lifted it into the air. Then they carried it away. Ooh. Poor gorilla. Yeah, a little poor. Ooh, banana. Well, it looks like Silky and her pals saved the day, said Terry. If I hadn't turned her into a flying cat, the treehouse would have been destroyed for sure. I was about to point out that the only reason the treehouse was in danger in the first place was because of his sea monkeys and his stupid giant banana. But at that moment, the doorbell rang. Oh no, I said. Not more sea monkeys. Terry, how could you? But Terry didn't answer. He was already gone. Chapter 13. The end. I raced after Terry, determined to stop him from hatching another bunch of eggs that might threaten our treehouse, not to mention our lives. But it wasn't Bill the postman at the door. It was Jill. She was panting as if she'd run the whole way over. Was that Silky I saw? She said. Flying away from your treehouse with a giant gorilla. Yes, said Terry. I elbowed him hard. He means no. I said. Yes, that's right, said Terry. I mean, no, Jill frowned. I'm sure that was Silky. But it isn't Silky white, I said. Oh, those cats were yellow, and they were flying. Does Silky fly? You didn't mention it on your poster. Well, she doesn't usually, said Jill. But one of those cats was Silky. I'm sure of it. I'd recognize her anywhere, and you two know something. I can tell. You'd better start talking, and fast. I'm sorry, I said, but it wasn't my fault. It was Terry. He painted Silky yellow and turned her into a canary. Well, a canary, I guess. And then she flew away. I'm really, really sorry. A canary? Said Jill slowly. Terry turned Silky into a canary? Yes, and like I said, I tried to stop him. But I'm so glad you didn't, said Jill. Huh? I said. You don't mind? Not at all, said Jill. In fact, it's fantastic. I've been really wanting to get a canary, but I was worried that Silky would eat it. Having a flying cat is like having the best of those pets. Thank you, Terry. You're welcome, said Terry. If you like any of your other animals converted, you know where to bring them. Thanks, said Jill. I will definitely think about it. Meanwhile, I'd better get home and put out some birdseed for Silky and her new friends. After she left, Terry clapped his hands together. Well, that all turns out pretty well, don't you think? I guess so, I said. Except for one small thing. What's that? We still haven't written our book. There's no need to shout, Andy, said Terry. Just relax. It will all be okay. In what sense can I possibly relax? And how can it all possibly be okay? I said. We still have no book, and it's due in tomorrow. How are we ever going to think all this story up in time, let alone write and illustrate that? Easy, said Terry. We don't have to think anything up. We've just lived through a really interesting day. All we have to do is write it all down, draw some pictures, and we have our book. You know, I'm much smarter than Terry. But sometimes I get this really weird feeling that he's actually much smarter than me. That's a crazy idea, I said. Oh, sighed Terry, disappointed. So crazy, I said. It just might work. What are we waiting for then? Said Terry. Let's get started. And so we sat down and wrote and draw. And draw. And wrote, and wrote, and draw, and wrote, and draw, and wrote, and draw, and wrote, and wrote, and draw, and draw, until exactly 4:45 p.m. the next day. We've done it, I yelled. But it's quarter to 5, said Terry. How are we going to get it to Mr. Big Nose on time? Our deadline is 5 o'clock. We'll never make it. Oh, yes, we will. I don't know, I said, but we'll think of something. That's when we heard a jingling noise. Terry jumped up. It's Santa Claus, he said. Quick, get the stockings, hang them up, and pretend we're asleep. But it's not Christmas Eve, I said. In fact, it's not even Christmas. We went to the edge of the deck, and And this is what we saw. Ooh, canary. Jill was flying through the sky toward us in a pram drawn by Silky and the other flying cats. Check out my flying cat sleigh, she said as she hovered in midair beside us. Want to come for a ride? We can't, I said. We're busy. We're trying to figure out how to get our book to Mr. Bignose in the city by 5 o'clock. I could take you, said Jill. These flying cats are really fast. Come on, climb aboard. And so we did. Whee! And that's how we got the book to Mr. Bignose on time. And then he published it. And it was delivered to bookshops, libraries, digital e-reading devices, and even transferred direct into people's brain via direct-to-brain information delivery technology helmets. And then you read it. We all lived happily ever after. The end. 그럼 오늘의 영상은 여기서 마치도록 하겠습니다. 안녕. 다음에는 26 Story Trios로 돌아오겠습니다. 안녕.